Unmuted. Our topic for tonight's class is, why are you a citizen of the Moorish American government? Why are you a citizen of the Moorish American government? Again, our Divine Minister, Dr. Julius Funkus Bey.
Islam. Thank you, Sister National Grand Secretary, for that great introduction. Let us rise. My name is Julius Funkus Bey, Divine Minister of the Moorish American government. First, we want to give all the praise to the one who created us, the great Allah, and also the one and only international prophet Noble Drew Ali, who came 5 times stronger to wake up all Asiatics living in North America to proclaim their nationality and their divine creed. And today, with that, on this special occasion of this Holy Day service, the question on the floor: why are you a citizen of the Moorish American government? Now, as we study this together, are you a Moorish American citizen because of hearsay? Because it sounds real slick and cool? What do I mean by that? Did someone walk up to you and say you was a Moorish American citizen of the government? So what we need to do, we need to study a constitution. So let's find a constitution on the planet that would say that we are Moorish American citizens. Let's go to, if you have it in front of you, the Moorish Divine Constitution. Now notice, we can go to Act 6. And notice what Act 6 says. It says, we are teaching our people to proclaim their nationality and divine creed. Let's stop there for a moment. Now notice, if you don't have a nationality, according to Act 6, you're not living. So what's the opposite of not living? That means you are dead. That's according to law. Now, what does that word law mean? Listen and learn. Write it down. Put it on your dial plate. The word law means having authority over land and water. That's international, that's global, that's worldwide. And you can pronounce it any kind of way you want, make you feel good. So we're going to have some examples. We'll get 3 examples. These are not good ways to be a citizen of the Moorish American government. The first one is by the point of the sword. What do I mean by that? That means a family member and a friend got to force you to always go to the website, fill out the census application. And that website is www.moorishamericangovernment.land. You're going to click on the icon, freedom. And as the one and only international prophet Noble Drew Ali teach, he said, you got the ink pen in your hand. And also, when you be a Moorish American citizen by the point of the sword, you can always have an excuse. When officials ask, give you an assignment. Now, the officials, they know sometimes that when they call you to do a reading or to host the conference call or go to a different territory, they know sometimes, but not every time they call you, you got an excuse. That's by being the point of the sword. And also being by the point of the sword is, if other divine ministers and citizens call you, they want to start up a study group, once again, you always find an excuse. And the main reason why you want to be a Moorish American citizen in the Moorish American government is because of your divine creed, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's the main reason. That's one example that if you become a Moorish American citizen forced by the point of the sword, yeah, you'll do it for about 10 days. And then what? The Moorish Divine Constitution, Act 4 would teach us. What would you do? You would cause confusion because you was a Moorish American citizen according to your divine creed, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Now, let's go to another example by being stiff-necked. Now, according to international law, what does that word stiff-necked mean? It means arrogant, greedy, and selfish. Now, once again, you'll be a Moorish American citizen in government for about 10 days. Then what will start taking place? Your behavior would change. First couple of days, you call on the conference call, you register at the correct time. But as day 4, 5, and 6 comes around, you start registering real late. Sometimes you might even register when it's time for the officials to speak. And then when the officials correct you on this behavior, then you go on social media and you would say, Well, the one on International Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he teaches love instead of hate. That is correct. But also, the one on International Prophet Noble Drew Ali teach, my morals are faithful. So you got to be faithful to the instructions that the officials give you. Not going on social media and taking what the one and only International Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave you, one free national name, because now you upset, disappointed, because the officials will correct you about your behavior. Checking in at the wrong time, always having an excuse for assignment. So therefore, you go on social media. Like I said, the one and only Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave you one free national name. So you go on social media, you're going to start a 3-person organization. Now, this is what he does. He calls himself a Moorish, Nuwabian, Hebrew Israelite. Now, he's going to take what's free and natural that's going to free him, he's going to change it to falsehood, delusion. And as the Moorish Divine Constitution teaches us, Act 4, he's causing confusion in the Moorish American government. So this is the reason you don't want to become a Moorish American citizen this way, by being stiff-necked, by being arrogant, selfish, and greedy, or by the point of the sword. That means you don't want family members and friends forcing you to be a citizen more. You want to do it because of your divine creed, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And also, the final example, you don't want to be a Moorish American citizen based on gold and silver. What do I mean by that? Here's an example. Now, the European, he sees you. You got your headdress of nobility, your fez and turban on, and your Moorish American medallion. He say, you're a Moorish American citizen, aren't you? Yeah. Say, how do you like it? I like it. How long you been a Moorish American citizen in the government? 10 days. So then you start talking to the European. So how do the officials treat you? You know, the officials, they want me to host a conference call. Now, my time is valuable. They don't want to pay. I need money. I need gold and silver. I need money. So the Europeans say, now, I tell you what, how does it sound to you? Now, I got a briefcase right here, some gold and silver in it. Now, you can still be a Moorish American, but you got to sell your birthright. What do you mean by that? The Moorish asked. He said, you got to be a citizen of the United States, which is a country. It's not a government. Also, you have to live by the Constitution of my forefathers who were slave owners. How does that sound to you? Now, you say you need gold and silver. See, these are the reasons why you don't want to be a citizen of the Moorish American government. The only reason why you want to be a citizen of the Moorish American government is always your divine creed. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when you do it that way, it's going to be from the womb to the tomb. You know, so when officials give you an assignment, you're going to be grateful to do it. You're not looking for no return, nothing to get paid for it, in other words. Look for material stuff. You're going to do it because that's your job, that's your duty. And that's what the one and only Prophet Noble Drew Ali wants you to do. Islam. Now, we know we're going to have our Moorish kin names due to slavery. What do I mean by names due to slavery? According to Act 6. So let's say you proclaim to be an African American. Now, according to Act 6, it says proclaim your nationality and your government. Now, notice, you don't have to tell an African American he or she is not an African American. Just what you're going to do. You're going to ask the $64 trillion question, and you're going to do it according to an intelligent tone. Now, what does that word intelligent tone mean? According to international law, it's your divine creed. So this is what you're going to ask them. You're going to say, how long have you been a citizen in an African American government? Now, notice what happens to the African American. They get quiet. As the Moorish Divine Constitution teaches us, Act 4, there's confusion and fear on their face. Why? Because of law. Not because you insulted them, you offended them. You never said they was not an African American. You asked them the $64 trillion question. You said, how long have you been a citizen of the African American government? And law would tell you they're not an African American citizen. And what does that word law mean again? It means having authority over land and water. So that's what Act 6 is telling us. So if anyone proclaimed their nationality and it's not the same as their government, their flag, their constitution, as the one and only Prophet Noble Drew Ali say, that's confusion. That's slavery. He said, come out of that. He said, come into your Moorish American light. How do you do that? Once again, you will go to www.sevenseals, Moorish-American-Government.land. You'll click on the icon, freedom. And as one international Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he said, you got the ink pen in your hand. So you're going to hyphen that title, name of nobility, El and Bay. Also, we're going to have our our Asiatics, names due to slavery, not serving their own government. They're going to invite us to events. By all means, let's not be rude and say, well, I'm not going to go because they're unconscious. No, the one on the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, you go. He said, get in where you fit in because I can use you. You can teach. Such, as an example, let's say an African-American Christian having an event and they invite you. Now, notice when you get there, this is what you're going to see. Now, don't get upset and disappointed because they used to fashion statements, not headdress of divinity. So what you're going to see, most likely probably a baseball cap with a cross on, a scarf with a cross around the neck, a do-rag with a cross around the neck. See, those are fashion statements. Now, as you go to this African-American Christian meeting, you're going to have your headdress of nobility on. You're going to have your turban of fez. Also, you're going to have your Moorish American medallion government. Now, once again, because they're dealing in fashion, don't get upset and disappointed when they say your medallion is a necklace. No, the one on the Prophet Noble Drew Ali say, you can teach. Don't get upset. Don't get disappointed with them. You say, no, this is my medallion, the citizen of government of I am. I'm a Moorish American citizen of this government. And my divine creed is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And also, when you start saying who wears the headdress of nobility, you're going to say your forefathers. And notice, once again, don't get upset, disappointed with the African-American Christian when they say, did a slave wear a turban or a fez? As the one on his Prophet Noble Drew Ali teach, he said, get in where you fit in. You can teach them. You say no. And the reason why, because a slave means non-human, commercial property, mentally dead. So therefore, they don't wear the headdress of nobility. So you would teach them. You say, also, did you know that you are the descendant of the ancient Moabite? That you're not a descendant of a slave? And why? Because when you're the descendant of the ancient Moabite, you're part of the human family. You are connected. And this was the one and only Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought you. So you're gonna always teach. And to all my agents, to all my Moorish kin who just learning your national divine creed, don't do this. After 2 or 3 days, because you just learned your nationality, your divine creed, you want to replace the National Grand Sheik. Don't do that. And why not? Listen and learn. This is not a nightclub. This is not a game. This is not a black organization. When you go sit in the corner and go any, many, money, mo, well, you the president. Why he got to be the president? Okay, next time we vote, next 10 days, you can be the president. No. Now, some would call that black Negro democracy. We don't teach that here. We don't teach segregation, integration. And why? Because the rules and regulations of segregation, integration is silver. Now, listen and learn. Write this down. Put on your dial plate. What does that word silver mean? It means to be nice and polite. It has nothing to do with your human rights. It has nothing to do with Act 6 of the Moorish Divine Constitution, proclaiming your nationality and your government. Let's continue. And also, you notice how our unconscious Moors, they wear fashion statements, hairdressers like the do-rag, the baseball cap, and the scarf. Now, by all means, don't you never do this. Don't you never get a black magic marker and write your name on your fez or your turban. And why? Because they are headdress of nobility. Now, I don't know how many of you own a do-rag on a conference call or a baseball cap or a scarf. Now, if you want to mark that, you can do that. That's well and fine because those are fashion statements. And the main reason why you want to be a citizen of the Moorish American government is because of your divine creed. See, when you do it out of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, not by the point of the sword, not by being stiff-necked, not by gold and silver, it's going to be from the womb to the tomb. That means you're going to stay here forever. You're not going to leave in 10 days, or give or take. Or when officials call you, you're not going to be saying, well, I need to get paid because my time is valuable. No. Or you're not going to do things because it's convenient for you. So when it's your time to be called, you're going to be grateful. Or you'll call officials and say, look, I have this idea. What you think? Go ahead. Do it, Moorish American. That's your duty to uplift fallen humanity. So that's the main reason why you want to be a citizen of the Moorish American government. And like we said earlier, if you say you're a Nubian, and when someone come to you and say, how long you been a citizen of the Nubian government? And your answer is no, according to international law, you are not living. You are mentally dead. Now, this is not based on hearsay. This is not based on sounding real slick, cool, and hip. This is international law. And this is what you must do. Your nationality must be the same as your government, as the flag you pledge to. Now, you notice that we have a lot of our unconscious Moors who don't have their own flag. You see them out there marching, boycott, or protesting against another nation's flag because they don't have their own. But the one our Prophet Noble Ali said, come into your marvelous light. Come into your Moorish American government. You have your own Moorish American flag. You have your Moorish American constitution. And when you don't live by this as a Moorish American, you have sold your birthright. Because your Moorish American constitution is who you are. It's mentally and legally who you are. It gives you authority over land and water. Once again, what does that word law means? According to international law. So if you're not living by that, then what's the opposite of living? Dead. And you don't want that. So I want to thank all my Moorish kin on this happy holy day service that the officials called me and gave me an opportunity to demonstrate. Some of the one on the Prophet Noble Ali, this is like a small percent. And also, before I go, this is a way how you increase your faith. What do you mean by that, Julius Funches Bay? Okay, like tomorrow. Let's say you have the book, the 101 for Moorish American students and adapt teachers. So you might read it for 20 minutes. Saturday, play back the conference call for 20 minutes. Then Sunday, you do it for 5 minutes, 25 minutes. Each day you increase. That's increasing your faith. That's why you want to be a citizen of the Moorish American government. Now, this is what you don't want to do as a Moorish American citizen. Now, tomorrow, you read the book, the 101s for Moorish American students and adapt teachers. Listen to a conference call for 20 minutes. But the next time you study will be next Saturday. And when you do study, instead of 20 minutes, it's going down to 10 minutes. See, according to the Moorish Divine Constitution, what are you doing? You're causing confusion in the Moorish American government. Islam. So the main reason you want to be a Moorish American citizen in the Moorish American government is always your divine creed. And when your divine creed is there, as Justin Bay always say, out in Georgia, divine minister, the one and only international Prophet Noble Ali is out front. And that's what we want. So I want to thank all my Moorish kin for listening to some of Prophet Noble Ali's teaching. This is like 1%. So the more you get his books, and where you can go get his books at, you go to www.sevensealspublication.com. So there's no need to march, to boycott, or protest a European bookstore. They don't have the one on international profit and overdue lease literature. No, you have it here at your own government. So, with that said, we're going to open up the floor, and we got an excellent question on the floor. Why are you a citizen of the Moorish American government? You're going to introduce yourself, star 64. Who do we have on the call?
Islam? Islam?
Islam. Introduce yourself.
Okay. Yes. Yes, sir. Just put an email.